Hello again, it's Priscilla Batzel in Spring Hill, Florida at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in the backyard, and for me, it's Christmas Eve, and I should probably be wrapping presents, but what I've been dying to do, really and truly, is an inversion pour, which is just basically layers of paint added to a container, surrounded by a puddle, and allowed to flow underneath that puddle. So what I'm going to do to begin with is cover my canvas, or most of my canvas, with some white paint pre-mixed in my squeeze bottles, using my OXO omelet turning spatula, using my glasses also, looking for things that do not belong, because you should filter your Floetrol, and I don't. So it takes me an extra minute along the way to find the things that do not belong. And I am basically, in spite of the fact that I'm going to be pouring into a puddle, I want the canvas wet. So if I should decide to stop at any given point in time and leave negative space, I can do that without having to go back and cover canvas again with more paint. When my glasses are really covered with paint spatters, and they're not very good right now. But I am going to enjoy myself, and I'm going to wipe off my spatula and use it again. And what I really want is red. But I don't really trust that it will cover in the background, so I think I'm going to give myself permission to use black. And enough black. And then I'll decide whether I want a puddle pour, whether I want a puddle, what color I want my puddle. Yeah. I've got all kinds of other things, because when I start deciding to pour, I sort of gather my intended supplies together, and then sometimes I forget to remove them and just stick with the one thing. Sort of like gluttons at a banquet. But that's okay. If I'm a paint glutton and an addict, I mean, you can tell I'm an addict because I'm out here instead of wrapping my presents, but never mind, it'll be alright. So I've got a couple of cut-off bottle tops from some Anita's paint. I do use Anita's paint quite frequently, and my intention is to knock off as much paint as I can on the edge of that canvas right now from the spatula, because it just seems like it's a good idea not to waste it, and I'd have to wash it off anyway, so I'm just going to wipe that off, and then I'm going to wipe it off because I might want to use it again. I don't really know what I'm going to do once I do the inversion pour, because I've got chain and I've been playing with it and enjoying the heck out of it lately a lot. But I want this particular piece to be quite a bit of red. And so I'm going to put a little puddle to begin with down. And I have my tubing, so I'm going to blow that out a little bit. So it's not quite as deep yet. And then I'm going to decide to remember that every other color can be white, and that I want it to go a little bit light on the colors, layers. I don't know, maybe not so much with the inversion pour. That's not the color I wanted. Okay, well, that color that I do want is over here, and they'll mix just fine together. I also want some turquoise in with this red, and I'm not sure how that's going to work. And I'm going to use some magenta in there. And I'm going to try, like I said, to go lightly. Light layers of white in between. And I was going to try and go less in my layers of paint, but I really want to clean that tip out. I really want a lot of red. And since I know since I know black and white are both cell enhancing colors, I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to do a little bit of each and go back to that red again, or magenta, or pink. And I also have been using recently, let's see if I left the bottle out here, that's good. I'm going to switch to bolts someday. If somebody knows where to get me bulk bolts, let me know, because I want to, like, 100 bolts. Nuts. My mistake. Nuts. To go in my paint. I've been using this gold mica, original stationery, says gold mica, 100 grams cosmetic grade mica powder, and I've been mixing it with a little bit of GAC 800, and this was yesterday, and it stayed pretty nicely. GAC 800 and Floetrol, And I really just want to take a chance on doing that, but I'm not sure how to get it in there without sinking it through everything. So I'm going to try, am I? Yeah, I am. I'm going to try and use a spoon. I guess it didn't make a darn bit of difference. It just wasted some gold. I'll get that off of there. You watch. I will. Okay, I mostly will. I sort of will. Some of it's on the canvas now. Must be meant to be there. That's all there is to that. So I just guess I'm going to go for it. And I saw that thing go in there, but we'll find it later. And I really like the Prussian blue with the black. And I'm pretty sure I won't hate it with the red either. And what else? I'm not sure I need as much paint as I would assume normally. Do I want any green in there? No, what I want in there is turquoise. And so I think I'm going to use this turquoise. At any point in time, if I wanted my colors to mix more thoroughly, I would just add a little force, add a little pressure to the squeeze bottles, assuming that I could get the marble out of the tip that's in there right now. And my tips were clean, so I had a good stream, which I really don't, but never mind. You know, I know it's weird, but I want some of that color shift green in there. Green gold. I don't even know if it'll show up. Back to the white again. And the turquoise, and I think we're very close to being where we should be as far as the right amount of paint. It's only about half full. Things are beginning to leak out a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit of that black in there, and I have some color I want to use up. I thought there was some metallic in there, but I don't see that right now. Do I want a little splash of anything else in there? Yeah, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to give a little forceful, okay, I'm going to give a lot of forceful orange to that. And I'm going to try and get some of my colors out of my way. And I've got edge catchers at the ready, and all I really need at this point is to put part of my puddle around there. And I'm going to make it half black and half white, since we're on the half black and half white thing. And I can always add more of those as I go along if I need to. I've got almost 10 minutes left. I'm going to just gently loosen this. Am I really? Do I want any other colors there? Oh boy. You know what? I'm just going to be weird. And I don't care. Very, very slowly, I'm going to lift this. And obviously move it a little bit. I'm glad I added that pink. Those cells are pretty awesome, huh? I'm going to just stick that right over there to drain for a minute. Move a few more paint colors out of the way. Somewhat. Have a look at what's going on there. See what we can pop with a torch. Bring up some cells. Best used for getting rid of bubbles, but also not a bad idea to see what will happen. Now we've got quite a bit more paint out of there. I don't think it's going to make any difference. I'm going to pull in my Princeton Art Tool Catalyst spatulas. I have a bunch of them, like numbers 1 through 7, I think. I don't think I'm missing anything anymore, and they've all come in handy. They're about $5. They're on the Amazon link below the video, where my book is, because I can. We just published a few days ago. It's got the first 100 videos, and my tools and my processes mentioned there. That's going in the bucket. The sooner you get your painty covered tools in the bucket, the sooner it comes off. Okay, so this is cool, and I should probably tip to see what's going on. I see way more of that gold than I expected, but then I did go back and add more. It's sort of like tipping a ring pour, and I have just about the same amount of patience. I see that thing that does not belong. Goodbye thing that does not belong. And so much for my red, but I'm not over it yet, so I'm thinking, why don't I just give myself permission to add some where I want it. I'm thinking my white's going to go, but I wasn't really planning on keeping it as a negative space tool anyway. And I'm going to use my edge catcher, which means I really do need to do a better job of moving my paint out of the way. I'm going to grab... An edge catcher is just a sheet of plastic, whatever you get for Christmas, for packaging. If it has any thickness to it, will probably make a great edge catcher. It doesn't have to be huge. I got some strange colors in there and I'm not sure I'm loving them. I'm going to let that pool, nice and big pool, and then I'm going to let it all slide back down onto the canvas. I'm going to also squeeze it over. And I'm going to let it go down over here. I'm going to sort of adjust where my paint is flowing by looking at it. And letting it pool again. And squeezing it over. Hoping to not completely lose the pretty stuff I see in the corner there. And let it flow down. It is more Christmas colored than I was imagining, but that's okay. Let some of that go back up that way. What have I got? I've got skewers. I can lead what I've got there just a little bit. I want to have a look at this and see what I'm feeling like. And maybe, just maybe, grab a little tiny edge catcher or a smaller version and just do that one area. Not dripping too badly, please. See, I like that extra large added turquoise in there. I'm going to squeeze that. I can also scrape this paint right off. I've got some kind of a rusty colors going on. I'm trying to think about what I want to do. And it's not coming to me too quickly either. I just feel like being irrational for a minute. That looks pretty irrational to me right now. Chances are good we're going to slide that. All of that. It's not getting anywhere near that pink yet, but it will. I just have to be patient. The gold is awesome. I didn't use any regular gold paint, just the gold that was the mica powder with the GAC 800 and the Floetrol. And it's really tempting to think that I might have a chance to use some more gold, or excuse me, some more mica powders. And see what happens with those. Alright, so I've got some Prussian blue and I'm just going to listen to my muse, and worst case scenario it doesn't make me happy and I have to do something else, and that's okay. I've got some pink on there, which never hurt anything. Different is good. Sometimes it can seem downright uncomfortable on the way to good and different, but so what am I going to do over here? Let that all flow in again. I know it looks ruinous to me, but I've always wanted to experiment doing things that don't make perfect logical sense, and just have a good time experimenting, and so that's what we're doing. And generally adding paint to the edge of something that's running like this will help promote more movement. I've got chains, they're kind of calling me. I'm going to give myself permission to do whatever I want here in a second. Go figure, sounds like I don't have it already, right? I'm so silly sometimes. That's a lot better. I've been really enjoying this red orange color. Not enjoying that fingerprint up there in that corner. I'm sure I'm not the only one it bothers, but maybe you can't see it right now. So I'm liking all of that. I'm thinking that since black and white sell together, before that black is too dry, and before all of the cool paint is out of my spatula, there goes my skewer, I'm just going to give it some swiping, see what happens, see what that does. Allow some of that paint to go over the edge. Some of it already is going over the edge. You can tell by my attitude maybe that I'm not super impressed with myself right now, and I'm willing to try all kinds of interesting things to fix my situation, including whatever comes to hand. And I like that orange I had going down here. That's not bothering me, actually. Not as much as that fingerprint is. I like most of that now. Wasn't so sure about this. That means I've got 3 minutes and to make up my mind if I'm going to bring you guys back again, because I'm thinking I'm not going to call this done right this second, to tell you to check out my Facebook albums underneath the descriptions, volume 1, 2, and 3, that have the YouTube artwork wet and dry, and that's near the Pinterest. Oh, that didn't, okay. Well, if your paint's too thick, your swipe's not going to work even if you add white. I like some of that. I like a lot of this now. It improved remarkably in the last minute. So, other than fixing that fingerprint in the corner, which shouldn't be too hard, I think it's time to wipe off my spatula. I'm sure people are going, wipe off your spatula. I have a brain cramp. I have Teespring clothing under the link. It really is really hard to work sometimes and talk. So please forgive me for being a blah, 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 blah. I have over 380 videos, so if you're inclined to watch another one, they're there waiting for you. I do sell my artwork if you want to inquire. I'm happy to give you information as you desire. It's also on those Facebook album links. I'm liking this. I think that it's time to torch and say whatever I forgot, you'll see in another video, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. We torched to get rid of the bubbles, I may have said that, and also to encourage patterns. I see that thing. It does not belong. I'm inclined to say that does not belong. That blob in the middle of nowhere. This is different. This is really different. It's crying out for purple for me, and you might be gone. So I'm just going to give myself permission to add a little of this. Yeah, that's what I wanted. And I don't know how that's going to work, but I'm going to find out with a basting brush right now. And I expect it to merge back in. Yep, I'm much happier with that purple in there. And for all the people in the audience going, fix the fingerprint, I'm going to do that right this second, and you're going to be gone. So this is Priscilla Batzell in Spring Hill, Florida at Expression Start Studio on Christmas Eve in the backyard going, thank you for joining me, and thank you for all the contributions. I really appreciate all the comments. And I hope you have a really happy new year. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. I'm going to see what you can see. maybe I'll like it better, and I'm going to go back to torching.